Well, at least he can read.
Welcome Home Radio Podcast. Are you looking to buy or sell your home? Our team is here with answers to guide you through the buying and selling process. We encourage you to ask questions. Please comment on this show or visit us at welcomehomeradio.net for more information. Bringing real estate, lending, and education together in one place, and to help you make the right home decision for you and your family.
And welcome to Welcome Home Radio, where it's July 15th. Happy birthday, America, 250. I got to tell you, America's received the best gift that they could ever receive, seeing America through the World Cup fans' eyes. Traveling America, seeing what we have, enjoying it. There's naysayers out there, but overall, that has been probably the best celebration I've enjoyed, is realizing how much I take for granted the freedoms, the joys, the blessings we inherited by being here in America. So I just want to say that. Guys, do you have anything to add to that?
I couldn't agree with you more.
And especially many of the Europeans love the fact that we get free refills on our sodas.
You know, I agree, but we also get ice. Where I remember being deployed in Germany, we had to ask.
Another good point.
And we have air conditioning. They love their air conditioning in the stadiums. But hey, guys, Welcome Home Radio, where real estate, lending, and learning come together. We're still on our series, Your Turn to Ask. And we've got some great questions this month to go over. In fact, we've got such a big question here that it's probably going to take the whole show just with this one. So, Welcome Home Radio. As a realtor, what is keeping buyers on the sidelines in today's economy? Now, that is just a huge question. How many ways can we confront this one? I'm going to start it right off the bat with, well, of course, are mortgage rates going to come down? Buyers are sitting there waiting on, I want to get a better rate. I don't want to go into something and not. Or I want to be able to buy something a little more and I'm not able to. This is the biggest one, I think. Nobody knows exactly where rates are going to go. And if rates drop, boy, there's going to be a refinance. I mean, and does the program I'm in going to allow that? But if rates rise, today's payment may look attractive in hindsight. Who knows? So the focus on monthly payment and being comfortable, I think, is the biggest thing that is keeping buyers on the sidelines. What do y'all have to answer this question on hesitation of buyers in the market?
Apparently nothing.
You guys got it.
The hard thing is, it's one thing as inflation, the cost of our everyday needs, essentials, it's been going up. It's a good sign as we calm things down that's been happening overseas. But I think all in all, buyers, really the biggest thing is need to see that even though you think a half a point will make your day, what about if you're waiting till next year and that house is up to another $100,000 in value? And that might be a little egregious in that number, but we see it happening in some areas.
Well, I think you hit on the next one that I would want to point out. Are home prices going to drop or are they going to rise? Some people feel that home prices have maxed out and they've got to fall, and they are falling in certain areas of the country. But I would not expect it to fall, but they want it to. I mean, just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to happen. And builders, custom home builders, are holding on to homes and properties so that they maintain the value or it goes up. They're not going to drop their prices. Most markets and inventory remains historically lower than norm. Therefore, home prices are going to stay flat or increase, not drop. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir, I would.
Tom?
I mean, I don't see them going backwards. They're just going to slow down on the rate of increase is what we've kind of been noticing.
Well, and I think one of the big factors, and of course, the bill that was in Congress tried to address this, that was passed, was affordability. And using that word affordability is a combination. It's not just that interest rate piece, but it's, wages and how our wages affect. Does that make it affordable for the common guy where, his wife works as a nurse or a teacher and he's a fireman or a policeman or something of that nature? Can they fit in a category that can afford a house in near where they work? Some, not 45 miles away and have to battle through hours of traffic every morning. So affordability for the person itself is driven by a multitude of factors, and that multitude of factors, we can't seem to bring it together to make it happen, to make it work.
Well, and can I actually afford a home? Many buyers, first-time home buyers, are struggling with this. Where is the down payment coming from? Starter homes, they're not being made, or they are, but some people are trying to sell homes way outside the price range of what they should be. And then you just brought it up: location, location, location. The home I can afford, but I'm going to drive 2 hours to get to work, and there are people doing that. So it's a very aggressive question, but so many factors come into it: affordability, home pricing, mortgage rates. But they have questions. And what is the economy doing? What if the economy gets worse, cost of food and gas and whatnot goes up? Can I afford? I remember buying my first 5,000 square foot home. I thought, man, I'm getting to build my custom home. Got my guy's room, movie room, poker room, pool, basketball court. And then the utilities hit, and I go, oh my gosh. All the electricity, all the heating and air. Oh, wow. Did I make a mistake? I mean, it's wanting things that we haven't learned yet. And first-time home buyers, they're struggling, not just with the initial price, but being home poor. If you get into your home and then not able to afford all of the things that come with it. And so that's a challenge in itself. But here's a question that bears to be asked. Should I continue to rent?
Well, you've got a landlord that if something breaks, you call them and they come over and fix it. You don't have to worry about taxes going up, because if taxes go up, then they'll change the rent and you just go find another place to rent. You've got this situation where really all I'm responsible for are the utilities as far as my cost is concerned. And the heck with different things around the house. I don't have to repaint something or keep up the floors and change them because the neighbors are they're changing to the floors and that type of thing. And my wife sees it and she comes back and says, well, it's about time we fixed our floors. And she doesn't talk like that much.
Yeah, you don't sound anything like my wife. Well, I agree, but here's the other thing. I think Jeff brought it up. How much are they underestimating by continuing to rent will a home cost next year?
Well, I've got the Cash App as far as how my tenants pay their rent each month, which I love. And
he's bragging now, Jeff. He's bragging.
I know.
But
slumlord,
I looked at my houses look okay. I painted one house the last week, and so come on, give me a little bit of grief here. I pulled up the Cash App and it said, look at your summaries, and one of my tenants has paid over $70,000 in rent to me. And that's, across what, 5 years?
Clean it off right there, Thom. Clean it off. There you go.
What was it? Spit?
I mean, you're selling the point that I should be out investing in property because renters are going to stay.
Well, I tend to do that.
So this you're going to own nothing and like it is really real.
That becomes the real factors that you get. I've got some who I've seen their kids go from being born to they're in high school now.
Well, my question is then the American dream is really dead.
It's
the American dream of owning a home,
being challenged,
and having piece of this is no longer a necessity for happiness.
And that first-time home buyer, to get the ball rolling towards it, because once you own a home, I mean, my daughter would never go back. She would not sell her house here 3 years later after she bought it and say, I'm going to go back and rent. But getting that first-time home buyer in has become just, it seems like an impossibility. Psychologically, it's a battle to overcome. And physically, just having the dollars to do it has become a challenge.
I mean, you said it. I mean, when you're renting, everything is set for the most part, besides your groceries and those kind of bills. You know what it is going to, you're not going to have the surprise of repairs or things that you might not be prepared for.
What does a hot water heater cost me nowadays?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you it costs you about $1,800.
But see, wait a minute. As far as I'm concerned, being a renter is just like being a timeshare owner. It's going to be raising rent whenever you have the hot water heater, the roof go bad, the electrical needs, or the AC needs to change out.
Yeah, but the landlord spread it over 12 months to me, first off. And secondly, that they can't just increase it. If I just signed a lease 2 weeks ago and my water heater breaks, I've got a year before that gets passed on to me.
I understand. But it's still going to happen.
I know.
And I think the other interesting thing is when we talk about, like, we're in our second home, but when I look at recently,
wait a minute, you own a home?
Somehow.
When did you buy one?
Well,
he didn't use me as a lender.
My wife is very wise.
Thank goodness somebody is there.
I give her the credit, yeah. But no, the consistency of the aspect of our home is 2,499 square feet. We do have a pool, but I've got my daughter and her fiance who have a 2-bedroom apartment are basically within $200 of our same monthly, their rent to our mortgage. I mean, it's not that big a difference. So it's all about what you want to put up with and what you want to deal with, I think, in this day and age for a lot of people.
So when is the right time to buy a home?
Well, always it's right now, which is, of course, the pat answer in the industry. And when people hear that, they give you all these arguments. They go, push off. And the reality is that my daughter, again, I like picking on her because she's that 28, 27-year-old person looking at buying a house. When she bought her house, she immediately put 3 roommates in with her. And she has been able to go for basically 3 years with paying a minimalistic piece as far as cost is concerned to own that house. Now, that ended, of course, last month when she got married. But by this time, 3 years later, her income's increased. Her ability to make the payment if she were on her own and all of her roommates moved out at the same time is in place because she's moved along in her profession. People don't realize that after you get over that big hump of the psychological piece and the piece of of budgeting and making sure you're handling and going to be able to keep the house, it becomes easier and easier and easier next month, next month, next month. You know, the year my $574 first house payment at $574 was much more manageable 5 years later than it was the first year I had it. And everybody goes, 574 was your house payment? Yeah, that was with taxes and insurance, by the way. Gosh, he's old.
I find it amazing that the education of home buying, the sooner we get in, you start building wealth. Like debt, a home mortgage is a good debt. And why we call it that is that once you pay that off, that equity is not only yours at that value, it's going to grow as we're talking about home prices. But we haven't learned to accept that debt, or at least accept a smaller debt instead of I got to have the 3,500 square foot instead of start with 1,800 and grow into it. And so it's an education. And what we try to do here at Welcome Home Radio is to educate, to get you to clear to close, is to educate you with all of the possibilities. Like one of the key questions, how much cash do I really need to close? And what are the programs that allow me to do this within my economic value or growth? And then finding that home. And the tough thing is we all want champagne wishes on beer budgets. And I used to love that show. I don't know if y'all remember that I forgot the name of it, but champagne wishes and caviar dreams on a beer budget.
What was that? What's his name? Robert? Maybe that's not the show I'm thinking of.
I don't remember it exactly.
Oh, I was thinking of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
That's exactly right. Yeah. But we have to understand and educate each other that USDA is 100% finance. It's no down payment. There are still closing costs, escrows, that sort of thing, fees. But the bottom line is you can do it, but you're going to be geographically limited. And, I don't like that. I want, downtown Plano. And that's just not going to happen. It's just not real. So as we go about this, the question again, the original question, what's keeping buyers hesitant and on the sidelines of the market today? I got to say rates, I believe, pricing on where they want, I believe, evidently getting pre-approved and working through that process as early as possible is always good. So you understand it, even if you're planning 24 months from now.
And you're in the industry. How many people do you actually probably have on your list right now that are in that category?
8. 8 are pre-approved, and 6 of them are building custom homes.
Okay.
They're outside in the suburbs, and they have a custom home builder going with them, working on blueprints and plans, and of course they're going to take longer. 2 are approved to buy homes outright, and they're just not finding them.
Of those that are approved that are building houses, what price range if they're doing all that work with a builder, what price range are we talking about for this?
$650,000 hard construction cost. Most of them already own the land that they're going to use.
Yikes. Okay.
So they're in a 3-year program, 4-year program, or longer, or they're living in their trailer on their property that they're going to build at. Most of them are veterans. Most of them have left the service and they're outside of a base in Oklahoma or in Texas, and they're building a custom home, their forever home that they want.
Okay.
I'm not seeing many things happen here, at least for me, as a loan officer. I know it's still going on. Jeff still has a job, so he must be doing something right. But
hanging on.
Tell us about hanging by the skin of your skin teeth.
Jeff, are you hanging on by your skinny by skinny?
I am. I don't know what might be skinny about me, but
Well, we know that, especially when you plan Henry's ice cream appointments. But,
and that's the truth.
Well, guys, I think we've answered this question, but again, I'm going to go back over the top. I think the three, if you want to change that, please. Mortgage rates, home prices, are they going to fall? And then can I actually get pre-approved? Can I actually afford a home? I think we had a time where contracts were done and then buyers back out there for a while. I mean, they literally were thinking rates were going to drop or do something. So buyers were willing to walk away from the contract because of, I think, can I actually afford this home?
Mm-hmm.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see those top three things being the key issue. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. Final question, and we'll wrap this up, but Kevin Warsh, is he going to make a difference this year?
I think it's too soon to tell, but I think they're going to do their best to keep it right around where it is and maybe drop it a little bit more.
Thom?
You're talking about the Fed rate?
Kevin Warsh, Fed chair. I mean,
I still think Jerome Powell.
Well, you need to get up with the times there, sir.
Hey, Alan Greenspan,
Alan Greenspan, who passed away recently, was the best one, I know.
He is my newest hero because he lived to be 100, and of course he had Parkinson's, so he was a survivor. But again, with inflation not subsiding, with those pressures, the Fed's got to do what's logical. And so until we see the relief as far as the marketplace is concerned, I don't see the Fed changing their philosophy as far as that goes. But rates, with the way rates have been, we know that our rates went down to the 5s, right?
Depends on what type of loan you're at. Yeah.
30-year loan.
30-year fixed for VA and conventional.
And where are they now with no change?
They're sitting right around 6 3/8.
Okay, so they've gone up about half a point. And again, we emphasized the market for that type of security is somewhat independent of the Fed rate stuff. So psychologically, we've got to get people thinking this is a good time to buy, because this is just, homes are out there to buy.
Yep.
How do I make it affordable?
We do have homes out there listed, and right now the average time frame, I don't know about the rest of America, average listing times here is over 60 days on market, and it's the opportunities are there if you're pre-approved and if you have your focus on that, because buy now, refinance later is still a good plan economically, because once you wait that home value and getting into a bid war, people are going to jump in the market very quickly.
Yeah.
If and when the rates do move. So helping you to get clear to close, we thank you again. Great question from a realtor asking what keeps people on the sidelines. Keep those questions coming. Find us at welcomehomeradio.net asking any and all of those questions. I'm Blar Thomas.
I'm Thom Hulme.
I'm Jeff Duffey.
God bless.
Welcome Home Radio production provided by Lunatic Digital. Check the listing of this podcast for the links to our sponsors. And don't forget to like, share, and follow us on social media. Visit welcomehomeradio.net for more information. This was a Lunatic Digital production. Visit lunaticdigital.com for all your digital needs.